You there, boy, what day is it?
Why, it's it's I don't have a good punchline.
It's December 23rd when this
Yeah,
episode comes out, at least.
but it's not though. It's not though, good madam. It's December 21st. It is, it is.
My God, the spirits haven't even done it yet.
Do I know that big turkey in the window? Yes, I do. Thank you for asking.
It's a very good friend of mine.
The one as big as me, the one that's 5'7".
Anyway, this is a terrible bit. Well,
It is. Hi
welcome to the episode.
everybody. Hi, we're doing a Christmas Carol. The only time they've ever made a movie of it.
Yep, the only time.
Yep,
The should I
the
just do
one
the
and
game
only.
now, or should I do it
We
later?
later we should at
Okay.
least probably say the name of this one before
I,
we go into other ones.
okay.
We're
So
talking about were you gonna do it?
I was just like, so what are we listening, or what are we talking about today?
We're talking about Blackadder's Christmas Carol, which is an episode of a TV show, but it's a special episode, so we're counting it.
Yeah.
IMDb says TV movie. It is one.
Yeah, it's on the real in between of whether this should be even count as like a TV special, but it we or like if like a TV movie, and we decided, sure it counts, especially since it's like it is a specifically beloved like TV movie Christmas special type thing, especially since we want to talk about a Christmas Carol type thing.
And it's also not just, adapted from the TV show where it's like, oh, here's a special where the characters we know and love have a separate adventure for one episode, which it kind of is because that's the whole premise of Blackadder is that each series of it is a different, period of time following descendants in the same Blackadder lineage, and we do see some of the previous in iterations. I was like, incantations isn't the word. Um, we see previous iterations from previous series in this episode, but it's like it's its own thing enough for us to like count it as
Yeah.
one thing.
And it's like, but the question is like, does this open us up to doing like the Doctor Who Christmas specials or the Downton
No,
Abbey Christmas specials? And I was about to say no because the Doctor Who Christmas specials are often meant to be like the first or last episode of a season, and it's
yeah,
like meanwhile
this
this is
is a very special occasion
a
for
very
Black
much its own thing.
which you're the Christmas Carol episode expert
I
on this
am the
episode.
episode.
Yes, you're the Christmas Carol expert on this, and I wouldn't say an expert on Blackadder, but among the two of us, I'm the one that has seen the show.
Yeah.
It's been a while, and this especially did make me want to rewatch it. Not because the first time I watched it, there were a lot of actors that I didn't know.
Mhm.
Like I knew Rowan Atkinson and Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie, and uh, that may be it. Out of like the main, like I didn't know Miranda Richardson or Miriam Margolyes. I knew Jim Broadbent. But I don't remember him in the one season of the show that he was in. Uh, but yeah, there's a lot of it did make me want to go back and rewatch the full series, or I guess all four series if we're using British
Mhm.
terminology here, because it's a very funny show.
Yeah.
It's like, and it you like you look on the Wikipedia and it mentions like a lot of different best sitcoms, best British TV shows, best TV shows, like votes and lists that the show either as a whole or one particular series of it like placed very highly on, and with good reason. It's a very funny show that there's a lot of British sitcoms that never had any crossover really into other audiences,
Of
like
course.
like Only Fools and Horses and what was the one that Peter Sallis was on for like decades?
No clue.
The guy who plays Wallace and
I
Wallace
know
and
who
Gromit.
Peter
Like,
Salas is. I
yeah,
don't know what show he was on.
yeah. It was like it's like about three old guys, and that one ran for decades and decades. And you'll get stuff like the young ones, and unfortunately, a lot of the Graham Linehan ones, like
Yeah,
Father
like
Ted
Father
and the
Ted.
IT Crowd, and like Faulty Towers and stuff. Like, I'm not saying there's never been any British TV that has crossed over and had success in other markets, but Blackadder is one that is like just kind of on that border. Like, it's known enough, and a lot of that is because Rowan Atkinson is such an international name. But it's definitely worth checking out. If there's anyone out there that hasn't, sought out the show and this sounds interesting to them, I would check it out because it's a very funny show that I'm sure a lot of it has not aged well in the way that a lot of old comedy and a lot of especially old British comedy has kind of aged peculiarly. But from my memory of watching this when I was in like middle school, it's a fun show.
And apparently, the show you were thinking of is Last of the Summer Wine.
Right, Last of the Summer Wine. Which how many years did that show run?
Its first episode was 1973, and its last was 2010. And Peter Salas appeared in all 295 episodes.
There you go. Anyway,
And you know what else is something good that the British have made? There's very few things, but one of those things is Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, which is a very, very fine story. And you know, we jested earlier that like, oh, this is the only one that there's ever been made, but there has been quite a few, E-
El-
especially especially TV movies, and especially bad TV movies. And I think it's better to do the game before we talk about the get into the movie rather than after, because it really means less later. So we'll
all
do
right.
it now. I'm forcing you to do it now. So I just have six questions, just about different Christmas Carol adaptations, and you're gonna have it's most of them are framed as three of these are real, one of them isn't.
Okay.
So, first question: which of these actors has never played Ebenezer Scrooge or a character inspired by him? And we have A. Ernest Borgnine, B. Mickey Rooney, C. Taran Killam, and D. Henry Winkler.
That's an interesting set of four.
It is.
Um, I feel like I can rule out Taran Killam because that's such a wild pull that it can only like that would be such a weird dupe for you to pull. Is Saturday Night Live's Taran Killam? So I'm gonna rule him out.
Is it Killam, not Killiam?
It's Killam. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
I know
Uh,
there's the two eyes, but maybe the second eye is not in there.
I don't think there is two eyes.
They're
I
pretty
think it's
sure
just
there is.
Taran Killam, who I
Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah, I was dumb. I don't know. I don't know where I got the second eye from. I thought it was two. My bad. Anyway,
anyway, I am a fan of his work on SNL. He was generally pretty underused on that show. Where has he been? What has he been doing lately? Like, get him a like sitcom starry role where he gets to be uh, uh, brought back into the limelight. Bring back Taran Killam. Anyway, that's
yeah,
not what we're here talking about. Um,
already
I'm
getting off track.
off track from the off track. I'm gonna go with Mickey Rooney.
That is correct. Your instincts were right because Ernest Borgnine was the Scrooge character in An All Dogs Christmas Carol. Taran Killam,
Sure.
Taran Killam was the Scrooge character in Nature Cat, A Nature Carol, and
Sure.
Henry Winkler, of course, was in An American Christmas Carol, which was set during the Great Depression.
Why not?
And just came out in like the 1970s. So it was like he was mainly cast to play young Scrooge, but then it's like they kicked on like pounds and pounds of prosthetic makeup for the older version.
Love that. Love that.
Uh, so now you see where we're going with this. With
Yes, I do.
number two. While we of course know Blackadder got a Christmas Carol, which of these Christmas carols based around your favorite guy slash thing is made up? A. Brer Rabbit's Christmas Carol. B. A Dennis the Menace Christmas Carol. C. Little Orphan Annie's Christmas Carol. Or D. Rich Little's Christmas Carol.
Well, I know the Rich Little one is true because I've listened to at least part of that. Not the whole
Why?
thing. Just because I was like, I want to hear what some of these impressions are. Because the whole thing is, Rich Little impressionist, and
It
I know but for the audience, like it's a one man show where he's doing all of Christmas Carol in different celebrity impressions, and I
it's
like
so
skimmed through it
bad.
at one point just to be like, I want to hear what some of these stupid impressions are, but I didn't do the whole thing. So I
He's not a very good impressionist,
yeah. Also,
at
I
least for by modern standards.
I take issue with the fact that you referring to these as my favorite things.
So it's just a gag I like from a YouTube channel where it's like every time he talks about like, oh, there's like a board game that's branded after all these things, he frames it as your favorite guy slash thing.
Okay. Um, Little Orphan Annie, right? Was the third one you said?
Yes.
Okay.
And the first two were Brer Rabbit
Yeah.
and Dennis the Menace.
Okay. I'm gonna go Brer Rabbit because that is wild. That's really unfortunate if that's real.
You fell for the trap because
No.
as that I included that one because it's shocking that that exists, and also because you might think that that was such an out there thing that it had to be real. Or I guess I don't know. Anyway, the answer was Little Orphan Annie. That doesn't
Okay.
exist. But
Yeah.
Dennis the Menace Christmas Carol with I think Robert Wagner
Sure,
as
why not?
yes. Uh yeah. Anyway, question 3. Uh, with all the modernizations of Christmas Carol, there's a lot of films that make Ebenezer Scrooge a woman. Which of these holiday themed names is fake? A. Allie Sims, of course, based on
Yeah.
Alistair Sims. B. Carol Christmas, don't need to explain that one. C. Estella Scrooge, or D. Holly Day.
I think Allie Sims is too good and too clever. That has to be something you came up with. There's no way that whatever Hallmark or whatever like off-brand Hallmark that's coming up with these names is pulling something like that for their audience. Like that's too niche a pull for like your average Hallmark movie goer to get. So I'm saying Allie Sims is the fake one.
You are incorrect.
Damn.
I forgot to write down which one Ali Sims was from, because like Estella Scrooge and Holiday are both the names of their movies.
So Carol Christmas is the
Carol
fake one.
Christmas was the fake one, which I made
See,
specifically was like, this is the most obviously bad one.
well, yeah, obviously bad, and so it had to be real. Like like
Like I will say though, like there are a lot that are like just a woman named Carol, but none of them are Carol Christmas. Like that
uh,
is too far.
if there is, if anyone out there knows of a Christmas Carol type movie where there is a character named Carol Christmas and Eliza's wrong, get in the comments.
Oh, please do. I need to find other freaks like me.
Yeah,
Oh, anyway, I found it. Ali Sims was from A Valentine Carol.
sure, why not?
Okay. Anyway, that was question 3. Now on to question 4. Another way these specials try to be inventive is by making a pseudo sequel to the original story. Which of these movies is fake? And these are very long options. I have
Okay.
written out plot descriptions. So A is A Christmas Scrooge. Shortly after reformed Scrooge's death, he finds himself as a spirit only a year later, needing to help a now healed Tiny Tim, also learning the meaning of Christmas, as the murder of Bob Cratchit causes him to lose
Whoa,
all faith of humanity.
whoa,
Only when Scrooge briefly resurrects Bob Cratchit to tell Tim to forgive his murderer does he finally let go of his hate for humanity.
whoa.
B. Ebenezer the Traveler, where after the spirit's visit, Scrooge wasn't actually changed for real and gets murdered by a poisoned coin. He is now stuck in purgatory with Marley, Tiny Tim, and Fan, and they are all now spirits who
And
go to
who? Wait, sorry, and
Fan,
who?
Fan,
Who?
Scrooge's sister. Remember
Sure.
her?
No.
Wait, I forget if she's the sister or the love interest, but one of those two. But
Hopefully
both
just
yeah, it's like
yeah.
these are two characters. I'm pretty sure Fan is the dead sister that he has in the
Would
past.
that be then like Fred's mother?
Yes,
Okay, sure. I didn't know she
but I
had a
might
name.
be wrong.
How is
because
that spelled?
Fan,
Okay,
like a thing you hold in your hand.
I was hearing than as in like earlier than or whatever,
Oh,
THAN, and I was real
shortening of
confused.
Jonathan.
Sure, or like the adverb.
Only a couple people listening might get that reference.
I
Uh,
don't.
anyway, he, in Purgatory of Marley, Tiny Tim, and Fan, and they are all now spirits who go to 2024 Oklahoma to help other people find the Christmas spirit so that they may all go to heaven. And
Oh my god.
they being the ghosts themselves.
Okay, so Tiny Tim is also in purgatory in this one.
Yeah,
Like
it's like a
he
grown
sinned.
up. It's
Tiny Tim sinned.
a tiny yeah. It's weird. I'm also like maybe giving things away by reacting to your things,
I don't
but
care. Keep going.
anyway, yeah, he's like a teenage Tiny Tim. Anyway,
Teeny Tim, but like not teeny like small, like teen as in like teeny as in like teenaged.
C. Mr. Scrooge to See You, where Good Scrooge is sent into the future to Wisconsin in 2013, where Tiny Tim's great 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 grandson is now a miserly business owner of somehow the same business Scrooge ran in his time in England.
I have a question.
What's your question?
Tiny Tim's great 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 grandson. Why are we not just saying Bob Cratchit's great 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 grandson? Why are we specifying Tiny Tim when like Bob Cratchit also like
Fewer greats.
anyway?
D. Spirited, where Will Ferrell plays a
Well,
reformed Scrooge turned ghost of Christmas present and must try to help a reluctant Ryan Reynolds turn good and stop Ryan Reynolds from trying to help his daughter win her middle school student council election by finding an incriminating video of her opponent and causing a child to kill himself.
what? That's what Spirited is about?
Maybe, or
There's
maybe this is a whole trick.
I
So I will just say
so
the titles once more.
one of these is
A,
fake,
one of them
right?
is fake. Only one.
Okay.
A Christmas Scrooge, B, Ebenezer the Traveler, C, Mr. Scrooge to See You, or D, Spirited.
I I'm really sad. I'm gonna say the first one I feel like sounded especially wild. And okay, I have a reasoning. Because all the others you gave like a plot summary. Like here's like the log line. And with that one, you went as far as to say that like he has to resurrect Bob Cratchit to like you gave a resolution to the story in that one. And in the others, maybe you also did, but I'm holding on to that as my reasoning. A Christmas Scrooge is the fake final answer.
Okay. You are correct. However, I don't believe your reasoning to be like thought out. Like
It
it still got you
probably
the right
isn't.
answer, but
Yeah.
it's like I I would have mentioned like I specifically was mentioning like the most insane parts of these stories.
Okay.
So it's
Fair.
like I I wouldn't mention the setting unless it was 2024 Oklahoma or 2013 Wisconsin
That also did help.
or going out of my way in my spirited description to uh point out that Ryan Reynolds in the bad version of the story forces a child or encourages the child to kill himself. And so
Yeah.
the child just succeeds. There's a vigil and everything. It's a very weird plot turn.
That's really upsetting viscerally.
Yeah, but anyway, number five. Which of these movies did not make me want to kill myself? Uh,
Oh, oh,
so three of these are terrible. One of them is not so terrible. Uh, A. Carol, a low-budget musical adaptation set in the modern day about the last Gen Z who is willing to work in a town wrecked by quiet quitting and workers' shortages, trying to convince him to take more pride in his work and to even consider working two or three jobs to help out all the sad business owners who can't find any good help.
that is not what I remember Rooney Mara doing in that movie.
You know, in a way, it is about quiet quitting.
You could, in a way, yes, but in many more ways, no.
B. A Christmas Karen, an adaptation of A Christmas Carol centered around the Karen meme, where she must learn to not be so racist and evil. C. The naughty list of Mr. Scrooge. A group of former college friends spend the holidays together 15 years after a member of their group tragically died during a stage production of A Christmas Carol, and they find themselves hunted by a killer in a Scrooge costume. D. Scrooge's Rock and Roll Christmas. A girl with a magic A girl with a magic snow globe finds herself in the past and, seeing Ebenezer Scrooge, tries to convince him to regain his Christmas spirit by using her snow globe to show him 80s artists like Mike Love and Three Dog Night performing Christmas songs.
Whoa. Whoa. When you said whatever the title of that one was,
Scrooge's Rock and Roll Christmas?
yeah, the image that immediately came into my head was like, Scrooge hunched over, holding, the candle up, with like the top hat and the scarf. Only he's hunched over doing the Chuck Berry duck walk. He's got the guitar in his hand and he's just like doing the thing where he kicks the floor and I'm
So
gonna
yeah, so
say
to be clear, all four of
all,
those are real. It's just
yes.
one of them isn't as bad as the others.
I'm gonna say the slasher one, the third one. That sounded kind of fun.
Unfortunately, you are incorrect. That one
Damn,
was very, very terrible. It's
damn.
actually B, A Christmas Carrot, which,
Really?
yes,
I've seen
because
clips from that one. That one, I. You
so
know what? Actually, that tracks.
so the thing is, it's like, of course, it's the basic jokes you're going to make with a premise like that, at least when you're like setting it up. But once it actually gets into like the Christmas carol part of it, first of all, the ghosts are all really fun. And secondly, it actually does a better job than I would have expected, like trying to really like get at the core of like stuff like this. Like it's not as flippant and evil uh as you would think, like of like a slap together cash grab. Oh, this is the thing everybody's talking about. We gotta make a movie. Like that other movie, Karen. Or the third there's like four or five different Karen movies. But this one is not that bad.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I wouldn't call it good, but I call it watchable.
Fair.
Anyway, number six, the final question. Which of these titles did I make up? A. Boyfriends of Christmas Past. B. Dr. Scrooge and the Dying Girl from the Past. C.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Take that one back.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm laughing too much.
Whoa!
B. Dr. Scrooge and the Dying Girl from the Past.
I got so hung up on the second part, it took me hearing it the second time around to realize you said doctor. Whoa.
Yes, Dr. Scrooge and the Dying Girl from the Past.
Okay.
C. My Dad is Scrooge. D. Christ's Christmas Carol.
Well, I know Ghosts of Girlfriends Past is real, but I would not be surprised if there is a very cheap, low rent like Ghost of Boyfriends Past cashing in on that title. And I'm also in this case having to parse your sense of humor as to what's a title. Like, I gotta go Galaxy Paint on this. So, ruling out the first one, we have Dr. Scrooge and
And
the
the Dying
Dying Girl
Girl
from the
from the
Past.
Past.
Okay. My Dad is Scrooge and Christ's Christmas Carol. I feel like My Dad is Scrooge is an Eliza original.
All right, you are incorrect. It was actually Christ's Christmas Carol.
Okay.
Uh, which I'm surprised doesn't exist yet, but it probably will eventually. We do have a Christian Carol that exists. Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, I do really love Dr. Scrooge and the Dying Girl from the Past, which I have to clarify. That is not technically its title because it's actually a Spanish movie, and not even a Spanish movie, a Spanish YouTube movie, where it's like,
Okay.
but it is like
Well,
one, it's film length, two, it's on Letterboxd, so it counts.
this has 5 logs on Letterboxd, and one of them is you.
Of course, why wouldn't it?
That I looked this up on Google, and all it's giving me is that Letterboxd page. I guess because I looked it up in English. Let's find.
Dr. Scrooge.
Okay. Dr. Scrooge y la chica moribunda del pasado. Okay, here it is. YouTube video from 4 years ago. Okay, it is 50 minutes long. It This is at least like okay, but scrolling through this,
It
I
is very low budget, and also
I I
important
don't
to important to note, it is a sequel.
to what?
The original Dr. Scrooge, of course, which is a short film that this YouTube channel made that got decently popular, and then they made this
I'm
feature-length
s-
sequel.
I'm so mad at you. I'm so mad at you, Eliza. Merry Christmas, everybody. End of the episode. We're not talking about Blackadder's Christmas Carol.
Anyway, so you got two right. Yep.
Sure. And I will give away both of those points to greedy bastards that come to my home because I'm such a nice guy. The
So
kindest and loveliest man in all of England.
where do we start with
We
this?
start with me saying we're talking about Blackadder's Christmas Carol, directed by Richard Bowden,
I thought
written
you already
by,
did that.
no, I did not, written by Richard Curtis and Ben Elton, based on A Christmas Carol, and also the, at this point, 3 series of the Blackadder television program. Starring Rowan Atkinson, Tony Robinson, Stephen Fry, Hugh Laurie, Robbie Coltrane, Miranda Richardson, Miriam Margolyes, and Jim Broadbent, among some others in smaller parts. It was broadcast December 23rd, 1988 on BBC One. So as this episode is released, it'll be the whateverth anniversary of that. 37th.
Sure.
A fine anniversary to celebrate. The 37th. Opposite that on BBC Two, there was an Arena, which was just like a program highlighting great artists. This one was about Nat King Cole. And on Channel 4, there was a TV series called A Houseful of Plants, which IMDb describes as a TV series on making the most of indoor plants.
Huh.
Sure. And that's it. That's the rundown. That's what we're talking about. Blackadder's Christmas Carol. Uh, a very funny Christmas Carol
Very
riff.
funny. Have you seen this before?
I had years ago. I didn't remember any of the specific bits from it. I just remembered the general conceit that like it's about a nice Blackadder who gets turned into a mean old miser, which is a very funny. I'm sure it's not the first time that's been done in the pantheon of Christmas Carol riffs, but it's a very funny take on it, especially given the context of the first 3 series of Blackadder.
Yeah, it's like I can't think of any off the top of my head. Like I know there's some where it's like it is like a generally nice guy who just misses the meaning of Christmas. Like one of my favorite ones, the Energy Carol, which is a energy like PSA, is like a
Sure.
it's like genuinely it's top five. Um
Inter- I'm curious. What are the rest of your top 5? Hit me now.
uh so number five is the Energy Carol. Number four is a Simon Callow like one man reading in like a room. Like
Okay.
number three is a ballet version.
Yeah.
Number two is the Jim Carrey version, and number one is
Interesting.
the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Well, yes, it could only be.
Yeah, it's like one of the main things I learned by doing this is that the ones that are already popular are pretty good, and you don't need to do what I've done.
Yeah.
You
Which
really,
if
really do not.
you haven't said on the air what it is that you've done. So tell the people. Let them know your great shame.
I have currently seen 127 versions of A Christmas Carol. Uh, this started back in like 2018, I believe, where I was just looking for like the year before I had watched a bunch of Christmas movies, and the next year I was like, you know what, for Christmas, I want to just watch a bunch of Christmas Carol movies. And then I kept doing it every single year. And the list builds up. I have a list of like 50 more adaptations I haven't seen yet. And like a good like two-thirds of those are just lost movies that I can't watch or just haven't come out yet. And then
Yeah.
the other third I probably need to pay to watch them,
Yeah.
which this specific year I was not able to do that. So, but next year hopefully I will.
Well, there you go. How do you feel vis-a-vis the Mr. Magoo one? That was a big favorite in my
Very
household
good.
growing up.
That
It's
is
fun.
number 11,
Okay,
which
yeah,
is
it's a good one.
like essentially the top 20 are all movies I love. And like all 4 stars or higher, which is out of 127 is a very bad score.
Yeah, I would say. Where does
Um,
this one rank? Oh, you said,
oh
did you
yeah,
say this was top?
um, I didn't say yet, but maybe I should save that for the end of the episode.
Okay, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good place to
but
put
I
it.
do really like this one. This is really good. When I first watched it, way back when I think this is watched one of the first 2 years. Uh, but yeah, I remember liking it, but then also like thinking it was kind of slight. Like, and I also just didn't know anything about Blackadder. I was just like, I just knew that this was, oh, like he was a mean guy in the regular show, but now he's nice guy who turns mean, and that's funny to people who are fans of the show. But then this time it's like I was really liking this more, especially since I realized this time that like these were parts filmed specifically for the special and not like I thought the glimpses into the past were just like scenes from the other seasons just put in for time. But no, these
Yeah,
are like specially filmed, and it's like that's good.
yeah. I will say this one this one elides the first series, which is Middle Ages. It's set like I think the premise of that one is that Richard III actually does win that the battle where he died, except he gets mistaken for someone else immediately after the battle and gets assassinated.
Hmm.
And then one of the princes in the tower becomes Richard IV and is under his I think Brian Blessed maybe plays Richard III. I think, or no, Brian Blessed is Richard IV. He becomes the new king over the course of that series.
Hmm.
Um,
Good for him.
but in that series, the Blackadder figure is kind of more of a Baldric, where he's
Oh.
like very low status and stupid, uh, unlike the other Blackadders, which are very cunning and like just outside of the high class, upper class, but are constantly scheming and constantly getting usurped at the very last second, like we see in these flashbacks to previous iterations. So you don't see any of that first series, which understandable given the context, given the framing of this, but would have been nice to see a little flash there. But I'm very happy with what we got because I mean, it's just very fun to jump back
Mhm.
in on these previous Blackadders. Uh,
Yeah, like it this is one of the ones where it's just like there isn't much plot to talk about as more it'll mainly just be us listing jokes we liked.
yes, which almost all no, all of my notes are either direct like word like line just lines that I wrote down or like a handful where I'm just pointing out the joke without saying specifically. So I want to ask you, what's your favorite joke in this whole 45 minute? Do you have one particular line reading or joke or whatever that stands out to you as the cream of the crop?
I do have a favorite line of this.
I have two that I'm torn between, and it's possible that yours is one of those two. So I want you to go first.
Oh, lovely, an ashtray.
That is good. That's fun. Mine come almost back to back, and it's when we jump into the third series, the Regency period with Hugh Laurie as Prince George.
Okay.
The first one is when he's talking about when George is talking about how their Christmas party is going to be all men because what can I do with a girl that I can't do with you, eh? And Blackadder just goes, "I cannot conceive, sir." And he goes, "Yes, well, there's that, I suppose." Which gets drowned out by the laughter, so you almost don't hear it. But it's a very good, just like the third
It's a
series. I
double
feel like
meaning.
yes, I think the third series, from what I remember, was a lot heavier on that sort of play of words, like play of what am I saying? Like wordplay,
Wordplay.
type of humor, more so than some of the others. I mean, that's always present, but like there's a lot more of that particular brand of comedy in that third series from my sort of spotty memory of it. And then the other one is when they're going to play charades and Baldric steps up and, mimes the book. And Blackadder goes, "The book?" And he goes, "Well done, Mr. B. I didn't think you'd get it that quickly." Just, it's very funny to, to go up and do charades and just do the concept of a book. Like he's not doing that to say I'm thinking of a book and you have to guess. I'm explaining the joke, but it's a really good bit. I mean, Baldric is a very funny character because that's his whole shtick the whole time is he's stupid and doesn't really realize to what degree he's stupid. But extremely funny and very well used over the course of this movie here.
Hmm. Like it's just joke after joke after joke, and all of them get a giggle or at least. It's like it's just
There's
funny. It's
yeah,
just really funny British humor.
there's very few jokes that don't land outside of like the we're doing fat humor about Queen Victoria or these like greedy orphans or Tiny Tim or whatever. Like some of that is a
Okay,
little colorfully, but like
I thought
yeah.
some of them were good. Like
No, some of
especially
them are funny. I like when he's talking about how every time he goes to visit those three wards or whatever, he's careful not to bring any sharp objects in case he pops one of them and is covered in 12 half-digested pies. That was funny.
and I do just like the like I forget if this was in the beginning. No, this must have been at the ending thing where it's just like the Tiny Tim's mother comes, or Mrs. Scratchit, I should say,
Yes, Tiny
comes
Tom.
in. Tiny Tom, uh, she comes in and says like he's a cripple, and he's just like oh, it's just like just because sometimes he can remember to say oh my leg hurts, it's just something like that.
which even Baldric wouldn't fall for.
Yes,
Actually, I did, sir. Uh,
very good, very very good.
yeah, it's good stuff. Very very fun stuff. It's a fun telling of it all. And most of the lines I wrote down are honestly from the first section where Ebenezer Blackadder is just a nice guy, but not too nice because he's still got a sense of humor. He still has to deliver jokes, obviously.
Yeah.
I like the whole thing with Baldric's Christmas card, where Blackadder opens it and goes, "A very messy Christmas. Shouldn't that be merry?" And Baldric goes, "A messy Merry Christmas, or
A
a merry
merry
messy
messy Christmas.
Christmas." I guess so, but and then when he goes through and is, "Oh well, Christmas has an H in it, and an R, and an I, and an S, and a T, an M, an A, another S. Oh, and you've missed that. Oh, you've missed out the C at the beginning." I like that circle back around to like he just didn't write Christmas. He just didn't write it, and yet he knew
You're
what
the
it
first
was.
person to have ever spelled Christmas without getting a single letter right. Uh, and
it
I like the like every time somebody rings Blackadder's doorbell, he has another like way of saying like oh I'm excited. Like well peel my tangerines. Well baste my steaming puddings.
it really does get into the whole sort of aura of a Christmas Carol adaptation of getting that type of language right.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, it's a very smart show in all its iterations, and it's very good at getting the atmosphere right, series by series, and in this case as well, to like make them all stand out and not just feel like you're transposing these archetypes from era to era. Like, it does feel specific, and the language in this, like when they're in the present day or whatever, does feel specific and not just they're wearing costumes but they're just sort of telling the same kinds of jokes.
Mhm.
And that's it really makes it feel like it makes it fit the era and fit the distinct time periods that it's set in.
Yeah, there's a clear sense that it's like the writers are very, very familiar with just like the way, or if not like just the way things were like in the far past, but at the very least how the far past is seen by the common public, like, and plays on that to make the best jokes.
I mean, Richard Curtis, very adept comedy writer
Hmm.
over the course of his career, even though some of his like the Wikipedia top of the page does include Yesterday and Love Actually.
Hmm.
And what is That Christmas?
That's the Netflix animated movie, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't know this one, but it
With
seems
the song by Ed Sheeran in it.
sure.
Why do I know that? I don't know. Why is that the thing that came to my mind first?
Why did
What?
you know that?
I think it was
Um,
something that was like potentially going to get Oscar shortlisted last year,
oh, sure.
and then but then it didn't, or maybe it did get shortlisted but didn't get nominated. I don't know.
That sounds plausible. Um, he also, he wrote for the show and for Mr. Bean. He's from New Zealand. He's not even British. That's crazy.
Good for him.
Yeah. I guess he moved to the UK when he was 11, but he's just such a quintessentially British writer and director. Four Weddings and a Funeral, Bridget Jones's Diary, Love Actually, Notting Hill, stuff like that. Like, crazy to think that he's not. Well, I guess Notting Hill isn't British, but it's not Kiwi either. Anyway, anyway, um, oh, the first joke in the movie, I do also want to point out because it's very
Okay.
fun. So we've done the whole intro, we've done the light sort of Christmas carol, not capital C, but like a Christmas carol song rendition of the Blackadder theme, where it's about how he's so nice instead of the usual themes, which are all like, well, maybe I actually don't remember. That may be just for one of the series. Anyway, but we've heard that Ebenezer Blackadder is the nicest man in all of England, and then we're inside his mustache shop, and we hear from outside he's going humbug, humbug, and then he comes in and humbug, Mr. Baldrick, and he has like a little bag of candies that he's handing out that are humbugs. That's a
Mhm.
is fun. It's a fun twist.
But it's fun, and I
It's silly.
the thing, one of the things that really gets my goat whenever I watch like a bad Christmas Carol adaptation is when it's like they don't understand what like bah humbug actually means in the context of like the original story. So just to completely change that is a very funny way.
It's a good joke.
Hmm.
It's a good uh uh what's the word I'm thinking of? It doesn't matter. Um
You're
Anyway,
trying to finish your thought, but then it's like, the thought doesn't matter to finish it.
it doesn't. You're right. It doesn't. You got what I meant. I said what I needed to say. Um Other jokes I have written
I
down just going,
I like the whole bit where it's like Baldric is telling him about the Christmas pageant and it's just
yeah.
like and it's like the funniest jokes you've ever heard about child mortality.
Yeah. The baby playing baby Jesus died and he goes, "Oh dear, this high infant mortality rate's a real devil when it comes to staging quality children's theater." And so they got a
Yeah,
dog to be baby
there weren't any
Jesus.
more children, so we had to settle for a dog instead.
But then when the three wise men come out, all the sheep are also dogs. So the baby Jesus went and tried to give one of the other dogs a piggyback.
Scarcely appropriate behavior for the Son of God is one of the lines I wrote down.
Yep. No, the children loved it. And then we cut to Miriam Margolyes and Jim Broadbent as Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, who are just delightful.
Yeah, I
I mean, they're both great talents, and it's fun to see them just playing off each other in this very silly manner. Uh, but very happy to see them.
yeah, like I was shocked at just how many like notable people are in this movie and the fact that it's Miriam Margolyes and Jim Broadbent in this two-scene role.
Yeah,
Well, is just or guess three-scene, but still, it's just like it's very, very good.
because
And, and
they had both been on Blackadder at some point, not as series regulars, not as like when we get to Miranda Richardson later. That's a character that's in that whole series.
okay.
And Hugh Laurie is in all of series 3 and then eventually season 4. Stephen Fry is there throughout. But like I think Margulies and Broadbent had maybe had like some episodes over the course of the show, but I don't think at any point they were
I
like and maybe I'm totally wrong about that.
I'd read in the IMDb trivia that Margulies and Broadbent were both in the first series, but then I think Margulies only ever reappeared in this and I think one other series. Meanwhile, Broadbent hadn't appeared again outside of this.
Yeah, that tracks. But they're very. I love Rodman's very silly accent he's doing for Albert. And
I love how that Miriam Margolyes or Queen Victoria is just always holding the the orb and scepter.
yeah, it's a good. That's a good joke. And like she comes into into like the room where the Christmas tree is when he's wrapping the presents, and has someone like behind her carrying a throne for her to sit in while she's talking to him. And then
I didn't even notice that. How did I
yeah,
not notice that?
someone fully behind her brings in a chair for her to sit down on. Like it's very fun, and he keeps messing up about saying, "Oh, and then I got you this secret a special surprise for Christmas," and then realizing that he spoiled the surprise and slapping his face and going, "Oh no, I have spoiled the secret." That went a little French, but he's doing
He's doing
German,
German.
Austrian, something
I,
like that.
it's German.
Yeah. Um, I do like later when they show up in disguise at the mustache shop, and Blackadder clocks his accent and goes, "Ah, nine. I am from Glasgow."
Glasgow.
Uh,
I,
is
I don't even know the jokes that Blackadder makes to him. It's like because it's like some reference like, oh, Glasgow, I love blank, and it's like, oh yes, I'm very fond of him or them.
he says like Goebbels or something, but
Yeah.
I don't know what that means in Scottish. But it's, oh yes, the Goebbels. I love such a
Oh,
nice company.
it's that's what it was. It always sounded to me like he was saying Goebbels, like,
Which he's not, because he does later say, "If I ever see Mr. and Mrs. Goebel." So
Mhm.
there's not an S on it when it's just the last name. So at the very least, they're not making a Nazi joke. But I don't know what the joke is there otherwise.
Yeah.
But that's fun. And
Yeah.
we also have the Mrs. Scratchit and the urchin who comes in and asks for a shiny penny to go spend at the gin bar or whatever.
I
And
do really love Mrs. Scratchet. She is
yeah,
very good at just like turning it on and off.
yeah. And the guy and his three fat wards. I don't know what's going on there. And Blackadder's goddaughter or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I forget her name,
The
but yeah,
shrill
it
lady that
is his
comes around
daughter,
and
goddaughter.
his daughter.
Jean,
That's the
Jean,
new
Jean-Luc Godard.
that's the new hip term for goddaughter. Is just Godder. We just put a apostrophe in there.
Shut the fuck up.
Marlon Brando in the Gother. Anyway, so we have this whole prelude where Ebenezer Blackadder in his paltry mustache shop gives away all of his few measly Christmas trappings and their 17 pence profit for the year, and their tiny little goose and the few presents and the bowl of nuts, and those all get given away. And he turns in for bed, and who shows up but Robbie Coltrane as just sort of generic Christmas spirit. He's not particularly Christmas past, present, or future.
I mean,
He's just a big Christmas spirit
he's very much in the spirit of the Ghost of Christmas Present, but
in the
he's
spirit of.
that was the joke, yes.
Yes,
Thanks for pointing out my joke, Gordon.
you're welcome. I'm so
But
happy
yeah,
to help.
he's credited as just the spirit of Christmas.
And I mean, so delightful in
Mhm.
this. So fun to see him pop up. But just oh, I'm doing my regular Christmas thing of going around and making mean old misers see the error of their ways. But obviously, you're so kind that I don't even need to. But he does anyway,
And
just out of curiosity.
Gordon, I do want to share this IMDb trivia with you that I want
Yes,
you to decide whether or not it's any good or not.
I
Um,
did see this one earlier. Yeah,
I
it's
will still read it out though.
yes.
It has been noticed by some that Robbie Coltrane's costume and character in this Christmas special has a nearly identical portrayal to his much later role as Hagrid in the film versions of J.K. Rowling's series of Harry Potter books. Also, it's been claimed that J.K. Rowling herself had said Robbie Coltrane was always intended to have been cast as Hagrid in the films, suggesting that this Blackadder episode may in part have inspired the creation of Hagrid. Is
Well,
that
no,
is that good or bad trivia?
as you asking that accepts the it that accept that is accepting that that is in fact trivia to begin with,
Well,
which
it's under the trivia section on
well
IMDb. It must be trivia.
well no, it must, it not necessarily. There's a lot of uh sort of what I'm saying is that that shouldn't even be on there in the first place. Excuse me. Um no, that's just absolutely nothing.
This film and Blackadder Back and Forth are the only two to actively reprise characters from previous Blackadder incarnations.
Black actor.
Blackadder.
That's trivia.
Okay.
That's real. Because none of the others do. They all die at the end of their series and then take place hundreds of years later.
Yeah, I do like that. Like, no, I guess I don't like it, but I think it's funny that so many pieces of IMDb trivia are like, uh, this thing might have happened.
Yeah.
This might have been something
And
potentially.
sometimes that's interesting if it's like, alternate casting that was considered, if there's enough of a story there and not just like, oh, like one that really gets me is you go to the IMDb trivia for Basic Instinct and read a list of, no kidding, 100 plus names of actresses that were considered in quotation marks for Catherine Trammell. Like that's not trivia. That's just like 100 women who were working in Hollywood in 1992.
Mhm,
That's There's no point in listing off all those names. That's probably just a sheet that was passed around a casting agency at that time of like, here are people to ask if they want to be in this movie.
mhm,
That's not how that works. But sometimes the like what could have been is interesting trivia. Uh, but anyway,
mhm.
can I say something here?
Of course, this is a podcast. You're supposed to say things.
Well, yes, but more in the other sense of can I say something? Um,
Everybody, listen up. Gordon's gonna get himself canceled.
well, no, uh, but the phenomenon sometimes of like an actor that you don't find attractive except for like one particular performance or one particular appearance of theirs.
Which actor and what role?
Specifically Rowan Atkinson in second series Blackadder and Blackadder 2, where the one where he's got the beard and the sort of curly hair and he looks very Caravaggio and he's got
Okay.
the ruffle. For whatever reason, that version of Blackadder and that version of Rowan Atkinson works for me. I don't know what it is, but I find him very charming and very attractive there. And
That
otherwise, it's he's Mr. Bean. Maybe it's the beard really suits his face, and I can't think of another time at all where I've seen him with facial hair. Uh, but that is, I'm speaking my truth. I have to say,
Yeah. That was gonna be my second guess. First guess was gonna be Hugh Laurie as the foppish guy.
no, Hugh Laurie's an attractive man. Hugh
Okay.
Laurie in general is attractive.
Well, so is Mr. Bean.
You don't When you're not even referring to him by his real name and you're referring to him by a notably very silly character who very notably makes stupid faces, you can't expect me to take you seriously. If you're not
I
even going to
the
refer to
thing
him as
is,
Sir Rowan Atkinson,
the thing is, I I meant to say his name. It just came out as
it
Mr.
just
Bean.
came out as why not refer to him as his character from Man versus Bee?
Man versus Bean.
Well, no, that was already what Mr. Bean was about. Now it's Man versus Bee. Um, or I think Man versus Baby.
Yeah,
Also,
that's the
just
sequel
yeah,
series.
yeah. Could have called him that. Could have
Could
called him
call him Johnny English.
yeah. Could have called him the
Enrico
the
Polini from Rat Race.
sure. I was gonna go with jewelry desk man that
Oh,
was supposed to be an angel from Love
Rufus, you
Actually.
mean from Love Actually. Zuzu.
Sure, I guess he does have a name, doesn't he?
And I'm just looking at his IMDb page or no, letterbox page. And it's like I forgot he was in Never Say Never Again, and I did not remember his name was Nigel Smallfaucet.
Sure.
which is a very Rowan Atkinson name
Has
for a character to
has
have.
Rowan Atkinson ever like famously done voice acting? He seems like somebody that
Lion
would have.
King,
Oh, right. Okay.
Zazu.
Yes, of course. Um, okay, yeah, that does answer that question. Thank you. Uh,
He was also in an Oscar nominated, if not winning, short film, The Appointment of Dennis Jennings, alongside Stephen
sure.
Wright and Laurie Metcalf.
Well, there you go. There you go. Um, yeah, let's chronologically continue and go into our first flashback story, which takes place in excuse me, in Elizabethan times. It's
Yes.
during Blackadder 2, where Blackadder, Edmund Lord Blackadder, as is that iteration of the character is known, has commissioned this painting of Queen Elizabeth, Miranda Richardson, to give to her for Christmas. And when he's about to give it to her, she decides that she has outlawed Christmas and will murder anyone who has a Christmas present. So he punches through the painting to hit Baldric in the face. And then Melchett, Stephen Fry, shows up and he's going to give her a present. But Blackadder is like, oh, hey, just so you know, she's outlawed Christmas. So don't get her a present. And so Melchett, who's his rival over the course of the series, gets her a present. But oh, wouldn't you know it, in the meantime, Elizabeth has gone back on her word and is going to give Melchett a bunch of stuff. And that's about the like that's kind of the framing device you would expect a usual Blackadder episode to follow, especially from series 2 to 4, where the character of Blackadder has become more of a schemer and less of a sort of hapless fool,
Hmm.
where no matter how much he schemes, everything just at the last second doesn't go his way, even though at the last second in this one things do go his way because he has the novelty death warrant that they sign. Uh,
I love the term novelty death warrant.
it's a really good item. I love it. I
You
love
know
me
what
a
else I love
novelty.
about this section?
What do you love?
Miranda Richardson. She
Yeah.
is hilarious.
She's When I first watched the show, I didn't know who Miranda Richardson was, other than probably, oh, and she's also in Harry Potter, like pretty much every fucking one else in these shows.
Yes.
Um, Even though Rowan Atkinson, Tony Robinson, Stephen Fry, Hugh Laurie, actually none of them were. Brian Blessed wasn't. Well, Stephen Fry read the audiobooks, but was never in the movies. But like Richardson, Margulies, Broadbent,
Hmm.
some of the other people in the show that don't recur here, I think.
Yeah.
So that's all I would have known her for. But I didn't know, Miranda Richardson. But I do remember, even with that, like she's so fucking funny in the show. She is. I know. I think she was only ever in that series. I don't think she was in any of the others, although she may have been in 3 briefly, but I don't think so. But she's so funny over the whole course of that show,
Hmm. Yeah.
and she's really good here.
I can't comment, but she seems funny, funny, funny.
And she is.
She's apparently in. I was like scrolling down to try and find out like just to look up like what seasons of Blackadder she was in. Uh and I just saw that she was in Kate Bush the Red Shoes. And it's like, oh, or the Line, the Cross, and the Curve. And it's like, good for her.
Good for her, Miranda Richardson.
Yeah, she's in an episode of Blackadder Goes Forth. She's in an
Okay,
episode of Blackadder the Third. And yeah, she's in all 6 episodes
who
both
does she
times.
play in Goes Forth?
Nurse Mary.
Okay, who does she play in the third?
Um, Amy Hardwood, the elusive shadow.
Okay, neither of those are the one I was thinking of, because in one of those two series, I think it's in the third, there's an episode that uh Blackadder like takes on this young like apprentice boy that's secretly, you know, a woman that is madly in love with him, and he doesn't realize until it's too late that like, oh, this was an attractive lady and not just some like squire that I had taken under my wing in hopes of using him to find some attractive woman. And I couldn't remember if she was one of those. because I feel like that's a plot they did multiple times, uh, but does not seem to be the case. Anyway,
Also, the reason I had actually opened some of these pages was to find out, um, like if these like if these people were in any Harry Potter movies, like because you said definitively they weren't. And I don't think Hugh Laurie was in any of the original ones, but he's apparently in the upcoming like Harry Potter like vo audio series
oh yeah, that a
things.
bunch of people have signed on to.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not surprising.
yeah. Which okay, whatever.
Kind of surprising that Rowan Atkinson never attached to that franchise in any way that I can think of.
Yeah. Like
Just because you would think.
I'm double checking, but I can't think of anything.
And Tony Robinson, I don't actually know.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but
I see nothing for Rowan.
yeah. I mean, he's got his own whole
He
thing.
has his own brand.
Yes, he has his own, and also just like his own. Like he doesn't need to be. I'm not saying that Rowan Atkinson is canceled by any means, but like he's got his own flavor of the British uh, opinions. I don't actually know too much about it. I just am thinking about the quote from him about how the whole point of comedy is that every joke has a victim.
Mm.
In sort of decrying cancel culture around comedy is that every joke has a victim, and that's the whole point of jokes.
In some ways, the UK is the France of Europe.
It kind
Of
of
not
is.
Europe, I should say,
No,
because they're not in
but
Europe anymore.
well, they're in Europe, but they're just not in the EU. But they're still in Europe.
I like that you didn't comment on me calling them the France of Europe.
Well, because you're right. Spiritually, you are correct. Novelty. Oh, another joke that I skipped past. When Blackadder is revealing his plan, his like double cross with Melchett about the Christmas presents, he goes, and then Melchett will bring her a Christmas present, and he like slices his finger across his neck, and Baldric goes, "What? He'll turn into a duck."
I was like, yes.
Is a good joke.
It's a good joke. And then it's like and then of course of like it wouldn't be funny if it weren't for her suddenly changing her mind on Christmas because she gets sad again and like she remembers how much she really liked Christmas. And then of course Melchett comes in with the president and now it's like oh I'm gonna give you all the things. I'm gonna give you a castle. I'm gonna give you like, blah 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 blah.
Blackadder's girlfriend and all this stuff, and a
You
title.
wouldn't you wouldn't mind, would you, Blackadder?
And then he goes, "Well, why don't you strip me naked and whip me through the streets all the way to so and so?" And Melchior goes, "Oh, well, we don't have to go that far. Somewhere else would be better. Just like I'll just whip you naked through the streets to somewhere closer."
Yes. Uh,
But
but then,
then,
of course, the novelty death warrant comes back in.
which had been the present in a Christmas cracker, uh, oh, you can give to your friends, which was such a good dropped line from Baldric there that it's a novelty death warrant that you can give to one of your friends. Which also there's a good follow up to that where Blackadder is talking about his present for Baldric, and he goes, "Oh, it's nothing really." And Baldric goes, "Oh, don't say that, sir." I was like, "No, really, it's nothing. I didn't get you anything," which is good. But then yeah, Blackadder pulls out the scrap of paper and has Queen Elizabeth and Lord Melchett sign it. And then, oh, I just realized this is a death warrant that you just signed. And I love when she's like, well, I got to go back on that and deconstitute the whole structure of the British Empire or whatever.
Yeah, that would devalue the entire British Constitution.
Yes, exactly. And then immediately like she just signed it and then she saw him give it to Melchett to sign it, and then when he goes and there's a name on here and she goes, whose name, who is it?
And I do like I think it's Melchett who says it's like you've been tricked, my lady, and it's like Christmas is a time for tricks and japes and larks of all kinds.
Oh, she rules. She's so good in this. She's
She's
so
so
fun.
fucking funny.
She's so funny. Um, and then that bit ends where
Like Melchett
Edmund
has
Lord,
to give him the crown, and
yeah,
as he's about to be executed.
yeah, and Edmund Lord Blackadder gets his way, and Ebenezer Blackadder is a little interested in that, and the ways you can be cunning and bad and get some things all to yourself.
Mhm.
And even though the Ghost of Christmas doesn't abide this, he still shows him the next one, which is the third series, Regency period. Hugh Laurie as Prince George. The
which which we talked a little bit
Yeah,
about, but it's like the plot this time is that he's gonna, after a game of charades, he's gonna tell Hugh Laurie a Christmas story. And then at a certain point, the he's what's the fucking servant's name again?
Baldric.
Baldric. Baldric's gonna come and dress as an old woman, and he's gonna be so emotional to give all the presents away.
And
And
then Blackadder and Baldric can split the spoils and take whatever they want.
exactly.
And it works. Except it doesn't, really. Because Baldric had let in an old woman who was collecting for charity before he went in and did his bit. And so the old woman who ducks in and has a high pitched, silly voice and carts off all the presents really was an old woman who went off with everything. And Blackadder goes after and steals it all back,
Th
which we don't see, but we know is yet to come.
there is my favorite part of this scene is while the old woman is taking the presents. I think at one point Hugh Laurie says, yes, please, please take all the presents. And the old lady, you could hear a faint, "Thank you, sir."
Yeah, which you think is Baldric doing the voice, but no, that's just what the old lady sounds like. Is a very good bit.
It's really good.
I also really love very early on when Blackadder is about to tell a Christmas story to Prince George, and he goes, "Yes, but leave out that guy, all the bits about the guy who was born on Christmas, and you know, ran his mouth a lot, and all this stuff," and he's just talking about Jesus.
Mhm.
And when Blackadder points that out, I really liked the line, "Keep him out of it. He always spoils the Xmas Atmos." I just really like the turn of phrase of the Xmas Atmos. This is
Mhm.
fun. It's very good.
Hell yeah.
And that's that one.
That
And
it comes and goes very quick. However, we didn't even mention the guy with the eye patch that's
oh
just
yeah,
passed out drunk
the
the whole time.
is that Tim McInerney?
I do not know. I don't know who
Because
that is.
I mean, he was in a lot of the rest of Blackadder, but I don't think he's credited in this one, so I don't know who that is then. Um, is that Philip Hope as Lord Nelson, I guess? That would
Essentially.
make sense. Um, I'm looking now at the Wikipedia cast list here, and the three um uh, uh the three wards, as we've been calling them, are credited as the enormous orphans, which is fun. Um,
The Orphans.
yep, and orphans and Godders. That's
Shut up.
um I like the bit at the end of that when they go back into Ebenezer and he's talking about like, "Oh, well, that was funny, wasn't it?" And the ghost's like, "What was funny about that?" And he goes, "Oh, the wigs were the rest of it very dreadful." Obviously very intrigued by his ancestors being bad, but playing it off to this ghost. It's a good joke.
Uh, but and then we go into the future,
Hell yeah.
which is such a strange segment, and especially since they kind of play it twice.
Yeah. Pretty
Uh,
much, except for the sort of twist at the end of the second time around.
which
Um,
I must say again, Miranda Richardson, amazing.
yeah. Oh, she's great. We It's this weird like space future, lights and polygons and everything, and screens and big sci-fi costumes. And it's Richardson and Fry and Laurie and uh it's not Miriam Margolyes. Oh, it's a Patsy Byrne as Nursey.
Yes.
Uh is there in the back, and they're this sort of like high court of the future, and Grand Admiral Blackadder is this space Blackadder in the far future who's got long hair and an eye patch and a big sci-fi costume with all sorts of greeblies on it. And he comes forward, and Slave Baldric comes up next to him, who's got a little leather thong and like a leather collar and straps.
Hmm.
And Blackadder uses his Christmas present that's not an ashtray to vaporize everyone except Miranda Richardson and proposes marriage and conquering the universe.
Yeah.
And
Which
that's the potential future if Ebenezer Blackadder were to embrace badness.
which I think that whole scene is I love the way it looks, first of all. I love the design of everything in that scene, especially the quote unquote ashtray, which is like a silver dumbbell with some thingamajig on top, and it's just like
It's borderline a sonic screwdriver with some extra bits sticking out.
and then it's just like I I love how the I forget her what you said her name was, but the woman in the back, I love how she's very much kind of like the guy from Tron, like the fucking Sphinx guy from Tron. It's like she's just in a machine.
Yeah,
It's just a head in a box.
she is kind of. To bring it back to Doctor Who, it is kind of just a Dalek with the hole cut out for her head to just sort of pop out the top.
And I like that her one line is just an ashtray.
Yeah, very good. Um, but yeah, and then that's what were to happen if if Ebenezer Blackadder were to be bad. But if he were to remain good, it's the exact same thing, except Baldric is now the Grand Admiral and Blackadder is the slave. And Baldric accidentally doomed the whole empire because he accidentally dropped the bomb on their own fleet instead of the bad guys.
Womp
Uh,
womp.
and so Ebenezer Blackadder vows to be bad. He probably kills a child. He,
I
uh,
love that gag.
yeah,
It's like Penny was a whatever. It's like and then he just
he's like up
opens
on
the
the
window.
window and like knocking at the window asking for another penny.
It's just, oh, there seems to be a child at the window. He opens it. Guess not.
The kid just falls and you hear the
Yeah.
scream and the crash. And he just becomes very bad, and he takes from everyone that shows up to come take from him. And he's mean and rude, and he starts punching Baldric in the face, as
Which
all the others do.
which a very good bit. And it's just like Baldric comes in and it's just like, oh, Santa didn't come and leave me anything. And it's like, oh, well, there's
Didn't
something
leave
I've
me
made
anything
for you.
in my sock.
Yeah, in my song, and it's like, well, there's something I've made for you, Baldric, and it's like, oh, that's the best kind of gift, and it's just like, I've made you a fist, and he punches Baldric, and the best thing
He like
about it is you can use it again and again and again.
he like sticks his hand in the sock just to pull it out as the fist to
Yeah,
punch him. Is very good. And then all this stuff, and he's being mean to everyone, and he's being rude, and he's being the Blackadder we all know and love. And then Queen Victoria and Prince Albert show up as themselves, not in disguise as they did the previous night, to be like, oh, and we're here. He has Baldric go answer the door because he's in the other room. And it's like, oh, we're here to gift Mr. Blackadder uh, 50,000 pounds and a title of Baron Blackadder or whatever. Um, and then Blackadder shows up, not having heard any of this, and thinks that they're fakers and starts dressing down the real, quote unquote, Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, calling them, Queen Victoria's fat and Prince Albert has a funny accent, and they both suck, and I hate them both, and I'm mean. And he runs them out. And while he's preparing his grand dinner that he spent all the money he stole from people on, he finds out that that was the real Queen Victoria and Prince Albert because Baldric has the royal seal. And then we freeze frame and we cut to credits.
yep, and
And
that's
that's
Blackadder's Christmas Carol.
It is Blackadder's Christmas Carol.
What
Uh,
what did we learn today, Gordon?
today we no, I'm not gonna do this bit. It's a fun. I was glad to revisit it because it had been a while since I'd seen it. It really made me want to rewatch the series. Did it make you at all want to watch the series?
It did. And I was like, I like this a lot more than I did the first time. And it's like it even ended up at number 20 on my overall Christmas Carol ranking.
Well, there you
Uh,
go.
which is very high, but also doesn't mean that much considering how much is below it. But still, I had a great time. I thought it was very, very funny. And I would be interested in watching more Blackadder at some point.
Yeah, there's only 24 episodes of it, and they're short and they're all very funny. And I mean, you get a lot of people over the course of it. Like even outside of the people that show up in this one, you have Rick Mayall shows up in a few different series. Brian Blessed, like I said. Um, who else?
You know
Uh,
who I really wish showed up in Blackadder?
who?
Dr. Scrooge and the Dying Girl.